Welcome to the Blokes podcast. I'm Adam.
And I'm Greg, and we sit down once a week to shoot the breeze. We chat about anything and everything. Sports, films, drinking, politics, music, etc.
So sit back, crack open a beer and enjoy. Good afternoon, my friend. How are you?
Hello, good evening. Yes, I'm very good, very good. How are you?
Yeah, not bad, not bad. In fact, we've both been off work today, right?
Yeah,
we finished work last week.
Absolutely, it's been fantastic. Feeling great.
Yeah,
feeling free.
I'm 1 week ahead of everybody else in the Christmas spirit. I'm walking around like Will Ferrell and Elf, and everyone else is like, "Oh, mate, come on, we've all got 1 more week left. Like, give it a rest."
Oh, tell me about it. Yeah, tell me about it. No, it's been good. With all this free time, I've not known what to do with myself. I actually made the massive error of going for like a 5k run minutes before this this recording. So I've got about 1/3 lung capacity at the moment. So
nice.
Be gentle with me.
It was all those fag breaks you took, like halfway around the run.
Yeah, exactly. Oh dear.
Nice. I'm going to delve straight into my beer, mate, because I'm loving this one.
Do it.
So this one was gifted to me by a good friend of the show, Pete. You may have heard his little voice note a few weeks back. And he knows I'm a massive Elvis Presley fan, right? So when he saw this on the shelf, he couldn't resist. This is a Brewdog Elvis juice, right?
Yes.
This thing's fantastic. I love it. It's it's Brewdog and it's IPA, so it's classic craft beer IPA style, which is fantastic.
Right.
But the difference with this one is it's got grapefruit infusion in it, right? Grapefruit infused IPA. So,
okay.
It's just got that sort of citrusy, it's extra citrusy, extra fruity because it's got, I don't know whether they actually put grapefruit juice in it or whether they brew it with some grapefruit flavouring or some skin or I don't know what they do to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's got that grapefruit flavour and it's fantastic. It's a bit stronger than I usually drink. It's a 6.5. And I think if it didn't have that grapefruit edge on it, I think I'd be feeling like, oh God, this is strong. Yeah. But
I bet.
It's fantastic. Yeah, I love it. So yeah, thanks. Shout out to Pete for sending this one. It's great.
Amazing. Oh, cool. Nice one. Yeah, that's been interesting actually how they do that because I assume because there is a very strong taste in those beers, isn't there, of what they're describing, like banana or grapefruit or orange, whatever they put with it.
Yeah.
Whether it is just the type of hop they're using or the fact that they're putting that sort of taste in your head as well with the marketing, you're finding it easier than maybe you would going in blind to it, you know. But maybe it is just adding juice, but maybe it is a way of making it that's just it's got that kind of flavour on it. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Might say on the can, but I don't know whether they're as strict with beer. You know how with like whiskey, you can't just add what you want and still call it whiskey,
right?
You know? You're allowed to add like colour and water to it, and apart from that, you can't do anything in Scotland. And if you do add anything else, it's no longer a Scotch,
right? Yeah.
So I wonder if beer's got similar rules.
I mean, I would guess not, but then nowadays there's bloody rules on absolutely everything. Some of them good, some of them not good. But I imagine it's a very tight window, isn't it? Especially for these like big mainstream breweries and stuff.
Yeah.
So I guess they're pretty highly looked at after, you know. Mm-hmm. But this is good. I mean, it's the same visually. It's like cloudy. It's I guess it was on the darker side. It's on the sort of browny, rich sort of. Yeah, I don't know, almost mahogany coloured compared to something like a Blue Moon that's like really yellowy and straw colour. So this is quite a dark one. I like the can as well. It's got like a tiny homage to the Stars and Stripes. It's not got any stars, but it has got stripes in a different colour, and it's like the branding's like definitely ripping off Stars and Stripes for sure, but not close enough for like a libel suit or something, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's great. So yeah, I like everything about it. I love Elvis, love the States, love the flavours, and it's doing the trick.
Perfect. Great.
How about you, mate?
Okay, cool. So I'm going for something. I'm going for an Old Faithful here. It's getting near Christmas. I wanted like some comfort food. I want some comfort drinks. Something that I just know I'm going to love. And I'm going back to one of my favourites. I can't remember if it was this season or last season I had this, but Franz and Kana. Kana, rather.
Nice.
So nice Weiss beer from Munich. Just hits all the right notes. It's got that sort of banana bread. It's got loads of sort of... it's super cloudy. It's sweet. It's just super flavourful. I love it. Really, really good stuff.
Fantastic.
I don't know what's the strength on this actually. 5%. So yeah, not small.
Yeah.
But yeah, good stuff. I cannot recommend it enough. If anyone's never had a Weiss beer before, this is definitely what I would suggest.
It's a great start of Weiss beer, isn't it? Yeah, it's just it ticks all the boxes. Like, yeah, fantastic. You're reliving the glory days, mate, when we could go to different countries. Yeah.
Oh dear.
So we're going to tier 3 from Wednesday, right?
We are.
Good job you got your hair cut just before, mate. I can see you've had your ears lowered.
Yeah, I know. I got in this morning. Little did I know how lucky it would be. My God, I can't believe it. I just fell into the trap of being far too optimistic and giving people too much credit. And dear.
I didn't think we'd go in again.
Yeah.
I thought, especially because of London, I thought we were safe because of the economy card. But it turns out they don't care about the economy. I bloody love the economy, me. So
yeah. Under strengths, you've put the economy. Okay, so we wouldn't be able to say that about this country at the moment, anyway, would we?
No.
Right. Let's have a chat about this actually, because I think if we talk about our political leanings and stuff, I think most people would say that you are a conservative, or maybe you would self-describe yourself as that. Actually, would I be right saying that?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, with a little c. I'm not sure what it's, just as a thinker, as a believer. Yeah, not in absolutely everything, but roughly. If you were to pigeonhole me, yeah.
Sure. So, and I think in terms of, I was thinking more sort of like party politics. So rather than maybe your full-on political view being under the umbrella of conservative, but like in terms of party politics, you sort of have been on their side for a while now.
Yep.
I would say.
Yep.
And I've probably been right there with you for a majority of that, but I've also sort of been on both sides of the spectrum, and I don't hold too much sort of weight with any party necessarily.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to ask you, someone that's maybe, because I know you've been involved in you've gone to some of these sort of I think you went to like a Lib Dem meeting, didn't you? And you went to like the Conservative Party meeting or something, your local thing. So you sort of been involved with the party a little bit. Yeah,
definitely more than a lot of sort of younger people.
Exactly, yeah. So I just want your view on the current party and whether you feel like they are actually a Conservative Party, whether you feel they're doing a good job, and sort of are you happy or disappointed, or what are your feelings?
Wow, yeah, big question. God, it's really tough because I think this is sort of like this was an unexpected occurrence, to put it mildly, right? COVID-19, a minor blip on the on the spectrum,
the old radar.
Yeah. So, I think I'm sort of viewing this through the lens of COVID. Almost, I'm definitely not equating it with war, because it's in my opinion, it's not as bad as war, but it's like similar in terms of it's something entirely unexpected. Like there was nothing on the manifestos of any party about pandemics or COVID-19 in particular. So I think it's something unprecedented in our generation. So I'm viewing it through that lens. But if we were to hold up the usual flags of conservatism, it's like there's a lot of liberty in there. There's a lot of sort of, free markets, and applying that to people as well. Like you should decide your own fate. Basically, you're left to your own accord. Like there's a basic outline of rules. All abide by the rules, and then aside from that, as long as you're not hurting anyone else, do your own thing. Make your own way in the world. Make your own money. Make your own rules. Blah blah blah. And I think what you're digging for is no, they're not. They're not doing that, are they? They're almost imposing this sort of. I'm not going to say socialist because it's not, but it's like very, it's telling you what to do, basically, isn't it? And I know a lot of people...
Authoritarian.
Authoritarian. A lot of people will be screaming, that's what we need to do, regardless of party politics. That's what we need to do to sort of protect thousands of lives. And to an extent, I agree with you. Like, we can't let it just go completely ignored, completely unanswered, because it is a massive situation we have to deal with. However, in my opinion, we've come to a point now where things don't quite add up. Like, we're taking pure numbers, pure statistics, and destroying everything else for pure statistics. And it's very hard to have a conversation with a lot of people about that because there's life and death involved, obviously, which is a horrible thing to have to deal with, as a civilian or a politician or somebody who follows a party or something. It's a horrible thing to deal with. But we have got to deal with it, whether we like it or not. There are a lot of people dying in one column, and there are a lot of things being destroyed, changed, forgotten about. Aside from just the pure economy, pure money, people's livelihoods, people being kicked out of their houses, people losing their entire life savings, their entire businesses, their families being destroyed. There's also people dying of a whole load of other things that aren't being treated. Chris Whitty on the radio 10 minutes ago was saying that he basically brought up cancer. I don't think he used the word cancer, but other major diseases he used that aren't being diagnosed and treated. And if we're focusing on COVID-19 or not getting COVID-19 under control. So sorry, I'm rambling here. The point I'm trying to make is we've got a choice to make, and I don't think the Tory party are being very conservative about making that choice. They're being, they're not doing what a lot of Conservatives want them to do, basically. And unfortunately, because we had an election just essentially right before COVID, and they got a massive majority, they've sort of been allowed to do exactly what they want without a lot of opposition, basically. And especially because the Labour Party, the main opposition, even though there's not a lot of them, the main opposition, they're almost saying exactly the same thing as Boris. They wouldn't agree to that sort of live on air,
no, yeah.
but in principle they are doing exactly the same thing. They're on basically the same side. Essentially, lock everything down. Yeah. We're just going to focus on death toll, basically, and do everything we possibly can to keep that death toll low, right? Whereas there's no opposition. Like if the Labour Party was saying, no, open everything up, open the economy up, the number is less important compared to long-term effects of the economy and people's livelihoods and people's lives, etc., then there'd be a viable opposition, right? The Labour Party. Yeah. And everybody in the country, regardless of whether you voted Tory or not, could go, actually, no, I think they're not doing a very good job. I'm going to vote for Labour Party. I'm going to really push, the Labour Party flag, and I'm going to stop paying my Tory membership and I'm going to pay a Labour membership instead.
Yeah.
But the problem is they're not doing that. There's no one basically saying the opposite. No. There's only one side of the argument.
Some backbenchers in the Conservative Party, but that's it.
Yeah, and they're the small minority that people always say, oh yeah, they're the sort of hard right, ERG, European Research Group. They've got a new group, haven't they, or something called the COVID Research Group or something. It's basically the same.
You've got to stop making groups.
I mean, exactly. It's basically the same bunch of people.
But yeah,
so obviously they get tarred with the same sort of Jacob Rees-Mogg, he doesn't know what he's doing sitting in his big high castle brush, don't they? And there's nobody else that's flying that flag,
Yeah.
I don't agree with that. He's not sitting in his big high castle. I mean, he has got a high castle, which he does sit in physically, but not figuratively.
The proverbial castle, the metaphorical one.
So,
sure.
Yeah, I mean, whether I would vote for them again tomorrow, I mean, that's a massive question. I don't know who I'd vote for tomorrow. If there was an election tomorrow with a COVID manifesto, I've got no idea who I'd vote for. Yeah. I've got no idea.
That shows the issue, because it's such a weird state of affairs where you've got this opposition, i.e. Labour, who aren't opposing the government's policies on anything. In fact, the only thing they're saying is you just should have done it sooner. That's the biggest thing that they can say, and the biggest opposition they can come up with. Oh, we agree with this, but you should have done it sooner. It's like, that's not a functioning opposition. The whole point of Labour right now is to scrutinise